We got the first snow of the winter, just a little skiff of snow. If you can hear something running, that's my car. I just cranked my car. I got to take Granny for some appointments and it's really cold. It's not much snow, but as much as I love snow, it's all right by me if any falls. We would call this just a skiff of snow. It means just a little, enough that you can see it, but doesn't really cover the ground. Granny's got her couch and her window all fixed for Christmas. You can see some of the beautiful stockings she makes there. Some angels up there at the top. Those are like gold poinsettias that she gets me to hang up there at the top. More stockings on that side. This is Granny's little Christmas tree. It sits on the table beside her chair. It's one of those pre-lit ones. I got it for her last year. The one she'd been using was falling apart. She's got all of her lovely ornaments that she made on it. Little purse that she made, isn't that sweet? Some of the bells like I have on my tree. Here's a crocheted ornament, round like the glass ones. This is one of my favorites. Look at the skier. Isn't that adorable? Here's another crocheted ornament. Pretty little angel. Look at this popcorn, crocheted popcorn garland that Granny made. I really like that one because it's got her picture in it. A little stocking. Look at this adorable sweater. Here's another little sweater, even on a little clothes hanger. Another little skier. This is an old ornament that Granny's made, a wall hanging out of macrame. And you see it says Noel. And then look at this beautiful little ornament, really vintage there. She's had this pretty much as long as I can remember. I don't know, I was probably 9 or 10 or something like that when Granny made it. But it hangs here every year. Here's a pretty little arrangement Granny's got on her stove. She's got the trees, but look at this pretty little crocheted house that she made. You can see the little windows there. Really sweet.
I found this pretty wreath at the dollar store one time.
It's pretty.
It's, jingle bells.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hung higher.
Okay, I'll move it. I hung it in the wrong place. I'll move it. What about these are just a few of your stockings that you've made over the years. You make them for everybody, don't you?
This is April's, Corey's and Katie's.
And Austin's.
Austin's.
And Alex up there at the top. And
Alex.
You got to make a few more this year, you said?
I got to make 4 for the new babies. Woodrow and Ira.
And Ezra.
And Ezra.
And Asa.
And, Asa, yeah. I need Zach's stocking to go over there. I don't know where I put it.
We've put it over there on the other side of the TV thing.
Across from April's.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be hung higher, too.
Okay, I'll move it for you. Here's more of Granny's stockings, Steve and Kim, and let's see, whose is this one, Granny? This one ain't got no names on it. Oh, it does too, sorry. I was mentioning Rachel and Ben. It's getting late in the day. Matt's mostly got supper took care of. We've just got a roast in the crock pot. He put some potatoes and some onions in there early this morning. But I want to make some of our beans that we dried this year to go with it. I'm just going to do it in Instapot since it's almost supper time. I'm going to do these painted pony beans. I'll show you a closer up look of them, at them. You can see how pretty they are, the markings. This was the first year that we ever grew them. And I didn't know, I probably read on the pack and then forgot about it by the end of the summer, but they are like a dual bean, so they can be used for dried beans, or they're really, a lot of people like them as fresh green beans with the pod and all. Since this was one of our experimental beans that we did this year, and since it was such a dry year, we just left them on the vine on the bean bush. It was a bush bean instead of one that grows, so we left them on the bush until the end of the season, and then we got them and dried them, and this is how many we grew. Not a whole lot, but pretty good when considering we only planted one row of a raised bed with them. So I can't wait to try them. Everything I read said that if you use them as a dried bean, they have a real rich, nutty flavor, and also that they keep their markings, so that will be interesting. Most of the beans that are really lovely like this, when you cook them, those pretty markings go away. So we'll see. We'll see if they keep them or not. So I'm just going to put about a cup of them in my Instapot, and I'll put a little, I don't know if I've got any side meat. If not, I'll probably just use bacon grease, put some water in them. And since it's such a small bean, and I've never cooked them before, normally I would do pintos like a good hour in the Instapot, but I'm not going to do them that long. Maybe I'll start with 20 minutes, and then if they're not done, I'll add another 10 minutes or something to them. And we'll see how they are, see if they're worth growing again. So the beans took more than 20 minutes to cook, more like about 35. And you can see, I don't really think they held their markings like that, what I had read on the internet, but they kind of held their shape. They still have that kidney shaped. I guess there's one that kind of has a little bit of marking. Anyway, it doesn't matter what they look like, because they taste really good. Now they do taste very, very similar to a pinto. So very similar to a pinto in my opinion, but tasty. That's pinto's soup beans. We just call them soup beans. They're one of our favorites. Whether or not we'll grow these again, I'm not sure. We'll have to think about it come next spring.
One surefire way to know that it's really cold is if you look out your window and see these laurel leaves all curled up, cupped around themselves and kind of hanging, kind of drooping. You know it's really, really cold. I mean, if you step outside, you know it's cold too, but if you look out your window and see this, then you know it's a really, really cold morning. It was about 16 here this morning, I think, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning now, and they're still curled up because it's still really, really cold.
Come down to see little Woodrow for a few minutes and Corey, and I noticed the wreath on Corey's car. So festive, I love it. I've never put a wreath on my car. Matt did one time on his truck, maybe he did a couple of times. This was way back when me and him was first married and we lived with Pap and Granny. Corey saw a picture of that, of his old brown truck, the one I tried to sell. And after seeing that picture, she wanted to put a wreath on her car. So she's probably been doing this for almost 10 years, I guess. She had them on the 4Runner when Corey and Katie drove it to college, then on her little red car, and now on this car.
Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let me